Ahoy.
Welcome to the season 10 finale of Bottom of the Stream. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back. It's the finale episode of our movie shows for season 10. And we're here for the last time this season, trying to find a hidden gem at the bottom of the Netflix stream. Can we round out the season with a bang?
Let's hope so. I just banged my nose on the microphone. It hurt a little bit. And also, you let me finish my hello. I don't think I've ever finished an hello before.
I like to keep you on your toes.
It worked. Anyway, this week, season 10 finale, 250th film we've ever done. Robin selected as a movie called Dangerous Games, The Legacy Murders.
It's an awful title. I would say it right away.
Okay,
Terrible title.
You can say it.
It's not a bad title for what goes on in this movie, but it's clunky, isn't it? It's really clunky.
It is clunky.
Clunky title.
It could be one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need both. No. I don't mind which one you choose.
No. Dangerous Games reminds me of Dangerous Liaisons, though, and that's different.
Yeah.
But The Legacy Murders isn't a bad name for a movie.
No, either.
And it fits.
Yeah.
But it's explained in the movie why it's called that, but it doesn't really work as a name of a movie. Agreed. This movie stars Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. He plays Kyle, most famous for probably Vikings, The Tudors. And he's recently been on the show. This is the second appearance this season.
We've never seen him.
Never seen him before.
Twice
this season. He was in Ambush earlier this season.
I enjoyed him in Ambush.
I didn't hate him in this. But
no, me neither.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. Do you know what I've not done? I've not told you what the IMDb score is. Because I haven't written it down.
That will be interesting.
Let me find this information. Yeah, go for it. I've just not written it down for some reason.
I'm going to say it is 3.6.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was released in 2022.
Okay.
It is an 18. It runs for 1 hour and 36 minutes. And it's currently rated at 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
I'm surprised.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm interested that you've gone that low.
That's me thinking what they would do.
Okay, fair.
That's not my opinion.
Okay.
Necessarily.
Might be, might not be. This movie also stars Will Sasso, who plays Alec. He's been in literally every TV show that's ever been made.
Yeah.
He's in all sorts. You'll recognise his face. Most famous, he's in the Three Stooges film.
Yes.
Plays one of the Three Stooges, Curly, I believe. He's in Young Sheldon.
Okay.
Plays one of the teachers in Young Sheldon, I think. And he's in Louder Milk, which is also on Netflix. It's a sitcom, I believe.
Is that Ron Livingston?
Yeah, I think so. But he's in literally loads of TV stuff. He's just in it everywhere. But probably the biggest name in this movie might be the biggest name this season.
Do you know what? That might be a fair shout. He's a
proper actor. He's a Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
Jon Voight's in this movie.
Yeah.
He plays Ellison Betts, which also might be the best name we've had of a character this season. Most famous probably for Deliverance and Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
But he's been around forever.
Anaconda.
He's been in everything. He's been around for a long time. He's also Angelina Jolie's dad.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. He is. Written by Brian Buccaletto and directed by Sean McNamara.
Okay.
I went through both their IMDb's. There's a lot of stuff on there, but nothing I recognised. So I didn't write anything down. Do you have a one-word review of Dangerous Games, The Legacy Murders? Longest title we've done in a long time?
Yeah. I would say so. Do you want to play a game?
Yes, please. Good review.
This
Good one-word review.
movie is a mashup, isn't it? It is a mashup of Knives Out and Saw.
Yes, with a little bit of escape room thrown in.
That's what this is.
Yeah. That's exactly what this is. There's no better way to
Episode over.
Episode over. The end. Bye. Thanks for watching season 10. Where does this movie start, Nick?
Boy, does it start.
I was just going to say the same thing.
I was just settling down.
Yeah.
I got my cup of tea or whatever.
Yeah.
My notepad. You usually...
Boom.
you glide in. There's maybe a title sequence. If there's not a title sequence, you've at least got a couple of establishing shots.
Yeah, or a few production
logos.
Company logos.
None of that.
Nope.
Whack. Here's a woman.
Done. Movie.
A woman stumbling around a trippy, a dark, but also sort of it's dark, but there's also flashlights and
there's a projector on the wall
and projectors switching on and off, and she is being chased.
Yep, she's screaming. She
And-
wants some help.
A voice says, "Welcome to the murder castle."
Welcome to the murder castle. That's what it says. Because there's pictures on the wall of said murder castle.
And she's locked in
She is.
a room.
And the door slams shut.
And she can't get out.
She cannot get out. She is screaming. And we're like 8 seconds into the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? My first note says straight in.
Yes.
We're straight in. There's nothing. And then gas starts pumping in through the walls.
Yes.
And this woman passes out. And
Presumably dies.
presumably, well, we find out later on, dies.
Then get some titles.
We do get a credit sequence. A very, very long credit sequence.
And it was all like a bit Cluedo. It was games pieces
Yep.
and blueprints.
Yes.
Complicated blueprints of a big house
Yes. Murder castle.
with secret passages and stuff.
And it goes on for ages. Maybe the first 5 minutes of this movie.
And it's low quality. So
Yep.
in terms of the credit sequence itself, the quality of the animation, of
Yeah,
even the
it's not
font, this is TV movie level credit sequence.
100%. We cut out of the credit sequence and we meet 3 people on a plane. And they are about to land. They're coming into land.
A little plane.
Little plane. Yeah, there's only those 3 people and a pilot on there, I think. I'm going to try and guess names. Alec was the guy on the plane.
Correct. That's Will Sasso's character.
Along
He's
with
the
his
dad.
wife, Marie.
Correct.
And their daughter begins with a V.
No, it doesn't.
Livy.
Correct. Has
Livy.
a V in the middle.
Has a V in the middle. So it's a family coming into land on this island. And then we cut to a boat. And there is a couple on the boat. And that is Kyle
Yes.
and Joy.
Tara.
Tara. And not Kyle.
Not
Cameron and Tara. I thought I was doing really well. Cameron and Tara are on this boat. And they are also about to land.
Cameron is Alec's son. So he's the...
We don't find that out at this
no,
point.
but he's the eldest son.
But not Marie's son.
No. And Tara is his girlfriend.
Yes. And they're also about to land on this island.
They have been summoned.
Yep, they have been summoned to this island where Grandpa, or Ellison as his name, has built a Gothic Victorian house
Yes.
on this island.
Which, presumably a private island?
Yeah, definitely a private
Because
island.
he's a billionaire.
Yeah, he's a multi-billionaire. And he's had this house built on this island. And it's his 80th birthday.
Yes, so it's a family
So
celebration.
the family are gathering for his 80th birthday and to see his new house that is definitely not a new house. It's like a new house, but also a really old house.
Yes.
For the sake of the movie, it's a new house.
Okay.
The movie is actually filmed in a very old house.
Ellison drives out onto the front of the house because he is in a wheelchair.
He is in a wheelchair. He's accompanied by his butler, Burnham.
Yes, / assistant.
Yep.
And there is... So the three that arrived in a plane, Alec, Livy and Marie, there is a difference in how excited they are to be there and how excited they are to be spending time with Ellison.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like this family get together very often.
Certainly not.
When they do, it doesn't appear that they enjoy each other's company. Let's put it that way. Ellison explains to them that it's taken 18 months to build this house from start to finish.
Yes.
It's very quick to build a house of this size.
Very quick.
He says it's his masterpiece and the best thing he ever did.
He's kind of giving them a tour, and he takes them to like I've called it the Great Room. It's like double high ceilings.
Yeah.
It's got a fireplace, all that sort of stuff.
He also has 3 big ass dogs that guard the premises.
Hench dogs.
Very hench dogs. You wouldn't mess with those.
They're not
dogs.
quite bullet head, but they're not far off.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a photo on the wall.
Yeah.
And I've put it in my notes. That's the same photo that was being projected on the wall in the prologue.
Okay.
When the woman is being tortured. And Ellison says, that's the first property our family bought. We flipped it. I made 10 times the profit on that. That was the start of my business career.
Yes, that's where I started. That's where it all started. We have missed a slight major plot point.
Have we?
Yeah, another couple arrive in a helicopter before they go inside.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
I thought that was after. That's fine.
No, that's fine. They're talking on this helicopter. Joy and Kyle. This is. So Kyle is Ellison's son, Alec's brother.
Yeah.
Uncle to Livy and Cameron.
Yes.
Joy is his new fiance.
New fiance.
Who they've got engaged, but nobody knows this yet. So he's going to introduce them to Joy and announce their engagement at this party. It is quite clear from the offset that Ellison and Kyle have a very strained relationship.
They both think the other one's screwed the other one over, basically.
So Kyle took control of the business.
They're all like billionaires.
And forced Ellison to retire.
Yeah.
And Ellison doesn't really respect him for that.
Ellison says, here he is. Here's the bloodsucker.
Yep.
The bloodsucker who stole the company from me.
Yes. And he says, look, he does claim that he's only kidding, but through gritted teeth, is he only kidding?
Kyle's like, I fucking rescued it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me,
we'd all be skinned.
You wouldn't have this house.
Yeah. And yeah, Kyle thinks he's doing the right thing. Nobody else seems to.
We hear that there is a third sibling, Kyle, Alec, and there is a sister, Virginia.
Yep.
But she has refused the invitation.
She cannot make it and has refused the invitation. Kyle and Joy both say as well that they are not able to stay all weekend. They're too busy running the company.
Yes, they're going to stay for dinner and gifts and then leave.
Later on, we cut to a scene of them opening presents for Ellison's birthday. Joy and Marie cut away from the party slightly to go and get more wine.
Yeah.
They go off together. This is the first time they've really met, so they go and have a bit of a catch-up in the kitchen. And then something very strange happens.
Hated this bit. Straight away.
I didn't get this bit.
This is just horrible. There's no reason.
Horror for the sake of horror, this is. It's unnecessary. Cameron breaks away.
Yeah.
Goes to the kitchen.
There's a cat knocking around.
There's a cat. There's a stray cat.
Ellison says, "Oh, yeah, that's whatever the cat's name is."
Yeah,
I adopted it.
It's a stray. You have strays on deserted private islands. I think that's a thing. No, but did Cameron kill it?
So what happened was Cameron had wandered into the kitchen.
Yeah,
there was leftovers from dinner on the side.
Yes,
and part of that was some fish.
Right,
and he picked the remains of this fish up.
Yeah,
and he dropped it in the sink.
Yeah.
Deliberately, and I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah,
and then the cat comes
in the sink
after the fish, and basically makes a grisly end in the
garbage dispenser
because you just hear.
Great impression of a dying cat. Well done. But did Cameron intentionally kill the cat?
Yeah.
Why?
He laid the trap.
But he had no evil. Okay, I hadn't picked up on this, but maybe.
It is kind of referenced in one of the last scenes of the movie.
Okay. I didn't understand it at the time. I guess now I do understand it a little bit more. But
I don't think it added anything to this movie.
No, it was completely
because it immediately made me hate his character.
Yeah.
And that affected my level of involvement to what happens to him later.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I couldn't tell if he'd done it intentionally or not, but it was just like
he'd laid the trap for this cat. Yeah.
It did, and the cat kills itself in the garbage disposal. The two women, Marie and Joy, hear the commotion, go running in, find the bloodied remains of a dead cat in the sink, and scream.
Yeah,
bit of gore for the sake of gore. It's never really referenced again.
We cut straight back to opening presents.
We do cut straight back because if none of that ever.
So Ellison goes, "Oh, Burnham, clean this up."
Yeah,
that's normal.
So then Kyle tries to tell Joy, or Ellison tries to tell Joy the history of the family, but Joy's like, I've done my research. I know who you people are.
She basically reads that
Ellison's
Wikipedia
Yeah, she basically tells us who Ellison... She's the Captain Exposition at this point.
He's made billions. He's in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, he's a pharmaceutical giant. The great American success story, self-made man, self-made multi-billionaire. And that's who this family are.
So I'm going to say straight away, I don't think Jon Voight's great in this. But
he absolutely dials it in.
The best he is in this movie is this next scene when he opens the present from Kyle.
Yes.
So Kyle is obviously desperately still searching for some acknowledgement from his father.
Yep.
Even though they hate each other. And he opens his present and it is a beautiful designer watch.
Lovely. In a wooden gift box.
And Ellison just says, I have absolutely no use for this.
Yeah, he just
tosses it away.
Doesn't like it. Get it away from
There was a flash there
of Jon
Voight.
It's a very slight flash, but it was a flash nonetheless. To which Kyle responds with, right, I'm going to go then, I'm done.
Yeah,
I said I wasn't staying, I'm out. If you don't want my gifts, we're out. And this triggers an argument between everybody. Yeah. Everybody starts rowing. And what stops this argument is Burnham arrives with another gift, a big gift, in a big black gift box with a red bow on the top. And Ellison's like, I'm too old, I can't open that. Cameron and Livy, you're the youngest, go and open this massive box, let's see what it is. What it is a board game.
It's a case. It's in a massive.
It's in a massive
There is
suitcase.
no expense spared with this.
No.
The creation and manufacture of this board game.
Yeah. So it's in a massive like suitcase briefcase. You open that up, and there's like a wooden box inside that with a board game in, and the board game is called Dangerous Game: The Legacy Murders. Hence the name of the movie. And it's a murder mystery style game.
Yeah.
Like a.
It's almost like a. You get these, don't you? Now there's sort of you're
the detective.
Who done it? Home kit.
Yeah, basically
sort of,
that.
I've
got one somewhere.
Yeah,
I've never played it, but I have got one somewhere. And Ellison's like, "Well, we've got this game. We should play this game. Why would we not play it? It's our game."
No one questions whose it's from.
Nope.
Or
where it's come from.
Yeah, there's no label or anything like that.
No, there's no gift tag or anything on it.
And Marie's sort of looking through some of it, and she's like, "Oh, it's a murder mystery. There's crime scene reports here. There's evidence. There's
crime scene photos,
papers,
which was weird." Kyle's like, "Right, me and Joy need to go. We're out."
Yeah, he says, "Enjoy your creepy board game. We're going."
They go out into the hallway. Joy says to Kyle, "You should probably stay. I do have to go."
Yeah, she's got like her sister's baby shower
or something, but you should probably stay. You need to. This is your family. You only get one family. And she talks him into it quite easily, considering he was adamant he was going.
She's like, "It's one night. Make an effort."
It doesn't take him long to decide. Okay, I'll stay, but you can go. Not at any point does she ever go.
They turn round.
Yeah,
like they're going to say goodbye to everyone, and everyone's behind them.
Yeah.
And they announce that he's had a long day. It's his birthday.
Yeah,
he's going to go to bed.
He's done.
They're not going to play the game tonight.
But we'll play it tomorrow.
We'll start it tomorrow. We've got all weekend. And Carl says, "All right, I'm going to stay.
I will stay. Joy does have to go, so she won't be here in the morning, but I will stay." And then, when I thought Joy was leaving, Kyle and Joy then sit down to decide which movie they're going to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought she was fucking going, but she isn't going. So they're looking for a movie to decide what they're going to watch. Alec comes in. We haven't seen much of Alec at this point, but he seems to be the softer brother, I guess.
Yeah.
He's been walked over a little bit in his
Dad's
life.
favourite, but
Dad's
he's
favourite,
the compliant brother.
Yes.
But he's had a few to drink.
He's drunk.
And he says, "Kyle, I really appreciate you staying."
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of because the heat's off. If Kyle stays, the heat's off Alec, and he wants an easy life.
But he's also drunk, so he's slurring or saying this, and Kyle's not happy with him. So he goes Alec goes off to his bedroom, where he finds his wife in the bath.
Yeah,
and he really makes a jump.
Yeah, just
creepily walks into the bathroom. She says, "Look, you're drunk. What are you doing?" They have a bit of a chat. It's a nothing scene. Meanwhile, the youngsters in the group have gone outside, because that's what young people do. They go outside and just hang out.
Yeah.
So this is Livy, Cameron, and Tara. They're all getting to know each other. Livy's never met Tara before. They're becoming friendly. They go outside and just do what young people do.
Hang around, bottle of White Lightning.
Yep.
All that sort of stuff.
Then in the next scene, everybody's asleep. Everybody's in bed. Joy gets up.
It's like, now's the time.
Now's the time I'm going to go.
In the middle of
the night. Yeah.
Is the helicopter still there?
Can she fly a helicopter?
Presumably had a driver. I don't know.
So she leaves Kyle asleep. She gets up. And then not long after that, an alarm starts going off in the house, all over the house. Everything lights up red. There's this really annoying alarms going off, wakes everybody up. And then the shutters on the windows all start coming down.
Yeah, like there's.
So this is the tornado defense system, according to one of the characters. And they are now completely locked in this house.
And they all sort of gather in the great room. And Kyle's like, "Where's Joy? Has anyone seen Joy?" And Livy says, "Oh, I think I heard the chopper leave a couple of hours ago."
Yeah.
It's like, why has she just got up and left? No.
Why is a chopper pilot sitting in a chopper all night waiting in case somebody wants to go? And then a mysterious voice that we heard earlier in the movie.
I have so many questions about this voice.
Same. the one massive question about this voice. Tells them to go to the break room. What a break room is, I don't know, but that's what it said. I presume it means dining room. Yeah. That's where they were.
It's the big room that they were in most of this.
So they know something weird's going on at this point. They can't find Burnham, and they're not 100% sure if Joy's left. Even Kyle doesn't know.
Yeah.
So we're basically missing two characters. And somebody's placed a note on the board game that says, "Wake up and play me."
Yeah.
So we were going to play it tomorrow. Somebody's made the decision that we're not playing it tomorrow. We're playing it in the middle of the night. Ellison claims that it's nothing to do with him, even though it's his house. He has no idea where this voice is, who this voice is, or what is going on. And Alex says to him, look, where's the control room so I can go and turn the shutters off and turn this alarm off and turn the lights back on? And for some reason, that's a hidden secret room behind a bookcase that if you pull the lamp down a certain way, a door will pop open.
And on the door, it says, don't go in.
Don't go in. Literally, that's what it says.
But it's like, in the font, it's like the style of the other document, or the other documents and pages from the game.
Yeah, it's basically cut out magazine headline letters. So what does he do?
Alec, he goes in.
He goes in, of course he does. He wants to turn this alarm off. What happens when he goes in?
He steps on a trigger floor panel.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is a bomb.
Yeah.
Or a mine.
Yeah.
And it explodes backwards.
It blows his heel off
of
his foot. That's quite specifically said in a little while. And blows him
out of the room.
20 feet out of the room and through a coffee table. And the voice comes on and says, you've got to play the game, Alex.
It says that you have to solve the murder.
Yep.
But only one at the end will survive.
Yes, basically.
It says that now.
Yeah.
And none of them seem to take this fact
None of them noticed that.
Yeah.
They get told that again later on and it surprises them.
Yes.
We find out Alex, obviously in a bad way, his heel has been blown off his foot. He's unconscious and he's in a glass coffee table.
Yes, he is.
And he's also a massive guy.
Yes.
So everybody has to try and work together to lift him up and get him on the sofa. It's revealed to us at this point, don't think it was revealed to us earlier, that Tara is a veterinary nurse.
She is.
And that they must now cauterize his wound.
Kyle works in pharmacy, is like, right, we need to cauterize the shit out of this heel.
Yeah.
Because he's going to bleed out.
Yeah.
So they've got an old-fashioned iron. That you warm literally in the fireplace.
Yeah, which is what they do. They warm this massive iron in the fire.
And Kyle's like, right, we'll all hold him down.
Because he's a big dude.
Are you okay to do this?
Yeah.
And she's like, she takes it on, to be
fair. Whatever, I'll do it. Ellison gives him a book and says, I've seen this in a movie, bite down on the book.
Yeah.
And then she does. She holds this red hot iron to his foot, cauterizes his wound, which makes him scream out and then pass out.
He passes out and they bandage it up, basically.
Kyle kicks off at Ellison at this point because Kyle is adamant that his dad's behind this.
Yeah, you're behind this. This is your sort of gamesmanship.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? He proper kicks off at him. Ellison's all the way through. He's like, it isn't nothing to do with me. I don't.
Ellison's like, I don't know. Maybe it was just faulty wiring from the build.
It does say that. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody suggests that maybe it could be Joy, or it could be Burnham.
They all turn on each other.
Or it could be the sister that's missing.
Yes, Virginia.
They're trying to come. Who's behind this? Who knows that they're there?
And then a voice again speaks. So there's a load of speakers dotted around the house now, apparently. And this disembodied voice says, "There is no escape. You must play the game."
Because Cameron starts breaking the windows, even though the shutters are behind them. Cameron starts breaking the windows, and the voice says, "You must play the game. There's no escape." Kyle and Cameron decide to go off together.
They're like, it's got to be Burnham. He's got to be
Burnham. He's the only one who's not in the room with us.
Let's go and take him out. Find him and take him out.
Right. Meanwhile, the others
set the game up,
which is Tara and Marie and Ellison are left,
and Livy.
Yeah. So they set the game up, and as soon as they get the game out of the box, the voice comes on and says, "The game is afoot. Best of luck."
And
I liked it when he said afoot because we just had one blown off.
And then says there are consequences for not playing.
Yeah.
Addressed to Kyle and Cameron.
And they decide there's like gaming pieces in the box, and they decide that each piece represents them.
Yeah.
So one's a dog, so they think vet. There's also there's loads, but every piece seems to represent something about.
There's like a fire helmet.
They're loose. Cameron's a fireman, and there is a fire helmet. That's fair, but they're loose.
There's a noose. There's a
we
will find out later. This is not what these pieces represent.
Absolutely not. There are also case files for these people. So there's a case file about each one of them in the box. So they tried to figure out what to do.
And like paparazzi photos and stuff. Almost like they're the suspects.
Yeah, but of them arriving at this island. Yeah. There's no paparazzi pictures of their actual life because we'd have to go and film somewhere else. So they're trying to figure out what they need to do, how this game works, what they've got to do with it. Meanwhile, Kyle and Cameron start breaking down doors, and the voice again says to them, "Go back and play. What you're doing is fruitless. You're not going to get anywhere." The girls then start to understand what's going on in the game. They decide they need to. There's like ciphers and things they've got to decode.
There's 9 dead women
Yes.
that they've got files on.
Yes.
In the game.
So
and I thought this was really funny. Well, unintentionally made me laugh. They basically just assume a load of stuff straight away.
Yeah.
Which is all exactly
correct.
right.
Yeah.
So like they decode this cipher really quickly. That like the code is the initials of the victims plus the order that they died.
Yeah, and that gives you the cipher that you need, the key code.
And this is like a 30-second long scene, and is literally the only time that this actual game that they're supposed to play gets played.
Yeah.
In the whole movie.
Yes.
That's what this movie is supposed to be about.
Yeah. The very little effort has gone into the actual game itself.
Yeah.
It's all gone. Everything about the game is really badly written.
If this was a proper movie,
yeah,
you could have done something with a proper game that affects what happens, and that's what I thought we were getting.
Yeah,
that's not. This game is a total red herring. It's nothing.
It's just
that
a way.
30 seconds is the most they play this game.
It's a way to give us a reveal later on.
Yeah,
and
it's fucking mental.
it is absolutely mental. They managed to decipher the first cipher, and as they're doing that, Cameron walks into a room which we recognise. We've been in this room before. This is the room which the lady in the pre-credits went in.
Yes.
And the same thing happens to him. The voice comes on, "Welcome to the murder castle."
Yeah.
And the door
I
slams
told you
shut
there'd be
on him.
consequences.
The door slams shut on him. Meanwhile, Kyle's gone off and he's in a different room and he finds some blueprints of the house. And he realises there's loads and loads of secret passages in this house.
Yep.
Loads of them. And he's kind of got one of the blueprints in his hand, like he's holding it up in front of his face.
Yeah.
And as he
Getting
does
into the map.
yeah, basically is. As he does that, Burnham punches him through the map and knocks him down.
Again, he goes through a table.
He does. They start fight. They have a proper fight, and he ends up going through a table. But then Burnham gets away. And we cut back to the girls, and they realise that the cipher is a quote from America's first serial killer. And they know this because Alec has woken up and recognises the quote of this from the cipher.
Yeah.
H.H. Holmes, I think his name was.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I will drop my fact at this point.
Go for it.
So, H.H. Holmes was a real person.
Yes.
Although it's vastly disputed of how many victims were actually his.
Yeah.
And they think it may be as little as like none.
Right, okay.
As many as 200.
Wow.
This guy was like a kind of a used car salesman. You know, he was a compulsive liar.
Right.
So I did go on his Wikipedia.
Right.
And you know the bit on Wikipedia where it says in other media?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a list of like, in fact, I might have took a screenshot. There's a list of books, usual sort of stuff, associated works to do with this person. And I thought, oh, they'll mention this movie on there. It's mostly about
him.
It ain't on his
Are you
Wikipedia.
joking?
So this movie is that bottom of the stream. It has not even made it onto the Wikipedia page of
the man
like,
it's about.
the inspiration behind it. But what I thought was interesting as well is that so a book, the sort of the most renowned book about H.H. Holmes was released in 2003 by Eric Larson, and it's called The Devil in the White City.
Okay, it's a cool name.
And in 2015, the rights for this were picked up by Paramount, and they had Martin Scorsese working on a movie version of the book.
Right.
With, of course, because it's Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio on board to star in it.
Okay.
But it never got off the ground. So it was in development for 4 years. Then in 2019, they shifted for Scorsese and DiCaprio to be executive producers on a TV version of it.
Right.
And then it's just got canned.
It's just disappeared.
It's not happened. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What's the book called again?
The Devil in the White City.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
That's a better name for this movie.
But no mention of Dangerous Games, The Legacy Murders on H.H. Holmes's Wikipedia page.
He is the sole inspiration of this entire movie.
Yes.
Which is explained much more as we're coming along.
Yes.
But that movie is about him. Okay, interesting. Where did we get to? So they solved the cipher. Alec tells them it's a quote from H.H. Holmes. Kyle then comes in, interrupts them, and is like, "Have you seen Burnham? He ran away from me. He's come this way."
Yeah, and they're like,
"They haven't
no,
seen him.
He's not been through here."
And then they hear Cameron screaming. So they all run after him to try and find out what's going on. Cameron is locked in a room with what appears to be a window made out of cling film.
Yeah.
And they're trying to communicate with him through the door. They're talking to him. He's panicking. Obviously, he's panicking. Because
the voice comes back and says, "You were warned. You've got to play the game."
We told you to play the game. And then he discovers a woman's body in the room with him.
It's the woman from the pre-credits.
It is the woman from the pre-credits. And it turns out that is Aunt Virginia.
Yeah.
Or as he calls her, Aunt Virgie. Weird. Didn't like that. And the voice comes on and says, she also refused to play the game.
Yeah. She's
now dead. I wonder what's going to happen to you. And at that point, the gas starts pumping into the room again. I then put at this point, Kyle figures something out and then suddenly knows that his dad's behind it.
There's another quote somewhere. He picks up on the word murder castle.
Yeah.
Because it says, "Welcome to the murder castle" when the gas starts, I think.
Yeah.
And Kyle's like, "That's Dad."
Yeah. Because there's something to do with how the building from the first one.
So basically,
it's all explained later on.
The building was one of the places where H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, and Kyle knew
active.
this. Kyle knew this. So Kyle goes back to Ellison stayed in the lounge wherever they're playing, and he goes back and he's like, "Make this stop! You need to make this stop."
He's in his wheelchair still. Remember?
Yeah.
He still denies any knowledge of what's going on.
Then what the fuck happened?
I've literally put that in my notes. So Jon Voight.
I've rewound it 3 times.
Jon Voight squares up.
He does. So
to Kyle because very slowly because he presses the button in his wheelchair, which converts it from sitting to standing.
Yeah, it makes him stand up.
Yeah,
and
they're tussling still.
They are tussling still. But Ellison is also tussling with his wheelchair.
Yeah, and what the hell was this?
What the fuck?
So he pulls like the. I always thought it was like the directional lever.
Yes, the control panel
off his wheelchair.
Yeah, the underside,
which is like the thumb joystick.
Yeah,
to.
So he pulls out the wires that control that part.
Except these wires, I can only describe as super. You know the villain in Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke, where he had them like electrified.
So basically, electric is visible in these wires.
Yeah.
And it's like buzzing around.
It's almost like animated Roger Rabbit style.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a movie.
And he's got it like a whip.
Yeah, and he's trying to whip him with electricity.
Which is pulled out of the wheelchair. So it's not connected,
so it's connected to anything anymore. And then he accidentally whips himself in the face with it and electrocutes himself. And then falls forward out of his wheelchair and face plants to the floor.
What the hell was this?
I've no idea. I thought I'm going to see his skeleton in a minute. It went very Home Alone.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. It was so out of context with the rest of the movie. That sort of thing doesn't happen in the rest of the movie. It was fucking weird. It was really weird.
So Cam is dying in the gas room.
Yeah, he's still choking to death in the gas
Ellison
room.
is somehow still alive.
Yeah, he didn't die.
Having self-flagellated himself with this electricity.
Yeah.
And face planted the floor, but he's still with us.
They put an oxygen mask on him because he's got oxygen tanks.
Kyle is still on him,
yeah,
saying, "Call this off. Open the door. Let your grandson out."
Yeah, he's basically begging him to open the door.
But meanwhile, Liv is getting in there, sort of going, "Don't hurt Grandpa."
Yeah,
what's he done?
Yeah, he hasn't done anything. Yeah. Come on, it's not him. Kyle then remembers the blueprints that he saw earlier and thinks...
He just remembers the fact that it's a big house and it has a secret passage.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm going to start bashing up the walls to try and get through.
Do you know what he should have done?
What?
Spent 30 seconds to go back and actually get the blueprints.
Yeah, because what he does is start bashing at the walls. and the voice comes on and says, "You're off track, go back to the game."
Play the game, yeah.
And Kyle decides that the room is impenetrable. It is a metal box that's surrounded by walls.
So the room that Cam is being gassed in is a metal box.
The door was made out of cling film. It wasn't gas. I don't know what it was, but it was awful. Cameron then dies. He basically chokes to death on his own vomit and dies of chokingness.
Alex shows up. He's limping.
Before this, somebody on the board game moves the gas mask piece into the room on the board that Cameron was in.
Yeah.
So that is our first hint that the
pieces are methods of death.
Methods of death rather than relating to the people.
I have so many questions on this.
Yeah, same. We'll get to questions.
How could the particular... Okay, with this one it works.
Yep.
But how can some of these methods of death be predicted?
Yeah, 100%. It's a great question. As we go through, we'll go through that. We'll answer that question at each death. This one, fine. We've got a gas room.
It's a setup. Yeah.
Chances are we're going to have a gas room.
You don't know who it's going to be, but
somebody's going to die.
You can engineer that.
2 people die in that room.
Yeah.
Then somebody says this whole house is a murder castle based on H.H. Holmes is the first serial killer. Blah 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 blah. We all know that.
They basically
they all know about him as well.
sitting by the fire, pondering what's happened.
And they all know about this guy. They're all aware of H.H. Holmes, and everybody's kind of like, oh, this is what it is. We're aware of this person. But they think Kyle knows more than everybody else.
Yeah.
They think Kyle knows something that he isn't letting on.
And the voice comes back and says, basically, right, you've had a break.
Yeah.
Get back to it. Play the game.
And then Alec, this bit made me laugh out loud because Alex said, what we should do is stick together. And then instantly, Marie and Kyle go off on their own.
Yeah.
They split up and I was like, yeah, this is great. And the voice, even the voice picks up on it because the voice says, haven't you learned your lesson? It's like, oh, this mysterious voice is getting frustrated with them now.
Tara does a bit of a monologue. She's probably the only voice of reason. She says, I don't think it's Burnham.
Yep.
I think it's one of us.
Yeah.
We're convinced. The suspects.
Yeah. We're the players in this game.
Yeah.
So it's got to be one of us. Meanwhile, Marie and Kyle have gone off. They find a secret.
Absolutely no one listens to her.
No, not at all. Nobody listens to Tara all the way through this movie. Marie and Kyle have gone off. They find a secret passageway. Alec then starts begging at Ellison to tell him something to help him, to help me out here, because this guy's now like lying on the settee.
Livy and Tara are actually playing the game, by which I mean they're not playing the game. They're just leafing through some of
they're trying to figure out the other cipher, which they do. They actually manage to figure it out.
Because there's a whole board.
Yeah.
But they never move anything around the board.
No. And the board is quite clearly this house.
Yeah.
But no, they don't. They just read all the information they've got. They figure out the other cipher, though. And then Kyle falls into a trapdoor.
He does, yeah.
But Marie manages to stop him falling all the way down.
He was back in those Viet Cong tunnels.
It was indeed. Marie grabs him and stops him falling all the way down, so he gets up. And then Burnham, they look down to see what was down the trapdoor, and Burnham just comes up behind him and pushes him down it. So he ends up going down it anyway.
He points a gun at Marie and then just leaves Burnham.
Really weirdly as well. He points a gun and just backs away smiling at her. And she doesn't run after him or anything. She's straight.
Kyle hits the floor in this new room, and it's a kind of lab.
Yeah, it's like a hospital room / morgue / lab. Very Saw 2.
Yes, he
3.
Finds
one of the Saw films.
Lever for the power.
Yep.
Switches that on.
And turns around and he hears a voice, a lady's voice, saying, Kyle, help me. And it is Joy.
She is on a slab.
She is on a slab.
She is alive, but she
barely.
has had an autopsy performed on her.
She has the Y-shaped cut of an autopsy and she's been sewed back together. The voice comes on and says, Joy tried to leave without playing.
But they weren't playing the game when she tried to leave.
No, she wasn't. They weren't. I mean, they were supposed to play the game as soon as they unwrapped the game, I think. So maybe the game started at that point.
I don't know.
But anyway,
he did not say the game is afoot by the time she tried to leave.
He didn't. The games master wanted them all to play. And she's been, like I said, cut open and sewn back together. And then the voice comes on and says, this room is an oven. So it's not only
rigged to be an oven.
And then I laughed out loud again because the walls open up and there's gas flames on the wall. Yeah. That's fine. I'm happy with that. You look up at the ceiling. You look up at the ceiling and there's a giant heating element on the ceiling. That's the size of the room.
Yeah, literally in an oven.
Literally in a massive oven with a huge heating element on the wall. I pissed myself.
Fucking energy bill in these times.
Electric oven heating. Oh, it was so funny. But the temperature starts rising. And this is where it gets very sore. Because the voice comes on and says the key to escape is in Joy's heart. Mm-hmm. And so it's quite clear to Kyle that he needs to remove Joy's insides to get the key to allow him to get out of the room.
Yeah.
So he loves this woman, so he doesn't want to hurt her. So he finds some painkillers in this hospital's room area and he injects her with these painkillers.
Then immediately cuts her open.
Then immediately, literally, needle out, scissors in.
Yeah.
She's fine. She doesn't even scream at any point.
I think
to be fair, she's already cut open and rudimentally sewed back together. Yes. Sewed back together so badly that he can get the scissors into the cotton.
Yes.
And he cuts her stitches back open. And she's got a heart rate monitor on. She's got what do they call them? ECG machine. which is bleeping fine. And then he starts pulling her insides out.
Yep.
And she's absolutely fine. I can't believe I'm going to say the following sentence, but he finds a dog whistle inside of Joy, and then she just dies.
And he's like, this isn't a key. And he gives up.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't a key.
Doesn't even...
She dies because her insides are on the outside now.
And also it's really hot and they're starting to blister.
Yeah, they're both starting to blister. But he's not careful with the way he removes her insides.
No.
To the point where you think he shows her own stomach at one point. It's like up on her
He
face.
rests it on her chest.
He does. Then at this point, since he picks up the whistle, the temperature starts rising more rapidly, a lot more rapidly. And he's like, I'm done. I can't find the key. He gives up, basically. He sits down on the floor and gives up.
He does. And then the people in the great room find under a rug a viewing hole.
Yeah.
Down to the oven room.
They can look down into the oven room. Which doesn't work with the layout of the house, but
and the fact there's a heating element between them.
I didn't even picked up on that. Yeah, there is.
And also that, despite how thick...
I love how you said thick.
Thick the floor/ceiling would have to be to stop like the rest of the house going on fire and stuff. They are able to just talk at a normal
quite
volume
clearly through this glass
and
window.
hear each other.
Yeah, to the point where Kyle is on the floor a long way away from this door because this room's got to be 20 feet high.
Yeah.
Alec is just lying on the floor talking down through this window and they can hear each other. Yeah. They're not even shouting. So Alec tries to do a bit of acting here. He tries to talk Kyle into not giving up and getting out of there. I know he's going on about, I know I was a walkover as a brother and I wasn't a very good brother and blah, 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 blah. Kyle then says he knows about Dad. That was the line he said.
Yeah.
And we get a brief flashback.
I tried to stop him.
We get a brief flashback of Kyle hitting Ellison in the back with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And that's it. We don't know any context of that at this point. And then the voice comes on because I think the voice is like, for fuck's sake, he's not figured this out.
Yeah.
So the voice comes on and says, you have to try to make some music.
Yeah.
So
I know, I put in my notes in capitals, at last, Kyle blows the whistle.
He blows the whistle.
It's like, it's not there for nothing, is it?
No.
And he's just sat there for 5 minutes.
Our reaction is exactly what whoever this voice is was thinking at the same time. Because the voice basically says, blow the fucking whistle, you idiot. Which he does. But unfortunately, he's left it too late because as he blows the whistle, he bursts into flames as the door pops open.
It's not a door; it's a little hatch.
It's a tiny trap door. Yeah.
How is he getting out?
There's no ladder.
No, and he's not climbing past the heat element.
No, 100% not. I don't know how he was getting out, but it burst open, and I don't know. Were they going to drop something down to help him get out?
Yeah.
I don't know. The others then say to Alec, what was he talking about? What does he mean he knows about Dad? And Alec...
I'm not sure.
And all the way through this, there's been a cryptex on the board game. Mm-hmm. I fucking hated this bit. Which is like, in the Da Vinci Code where he has to run... Yeah. It's one of them. And Alex knows the answer to that suddenly.
Straight away.
It is a mile... in feet.
In Roman numerals.
In Roman numerals.
Because there's a quote, something for the H.H. Holmes, there's a quote on the cryptex, which is something like, you have to walk a mile in my moccasins.
Yeah.
And Alec looks at the cryptex with the Roman numerals and goes, there's 5,280 feet in a mile.
Yeah.
In Roman numerals, that's this.
VCC LXXX.
Yeah.
And that opens the cryptex. And I'm like, this film is taking some fucking liberties at this point.
I've put here, they haven't played this game yet at all.
No, but they've figured out, that's it. That's the end of the game. That reveals to them what is inside the cryptex, which is the end of the game. And what is inside the cryptex is a book, which is the Confessions of H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. It's all the details of his murders.
Yes.
That he has, in inverted commas, confessed to.
Absolutely. But also, there are some notations in the book.
There are.
In Ellison's handwriting.
Yeah.
And it is revealed to us at this point that Ellison is a copycat killer of H.H. Holmes.
So
it was him all along.
So where Holmes's written in this book about his first murder, Ellison has basically written in the margins about his
first murder. And it is revealed to us at this point that Ellison starts telling us what's going on now, because he's not dead. He's very much in a bad way. One of his eyes bursts. His grandmother was H.H. Holmes's 14th victim. But Holmes killed her after she bore his son.
Yeah.
H.H. Holmes' son.
So Ellison is Holmes' grandson.
Yes. So this family are the descendants of America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes, and it is the family legacy. So Ellison's dad...
He says, I saw my father kill my mother.
Because they brought the murder castle.
Yeah.
They purchased it. And then he killed her in it and then killed himself, which Ellison saw when he was 11.
Yeah.
And they are now continuing the cycle. This is a cycle, apparently. Serial killering is hereditary.
They read a bit more through, and Ellison's 14th victim was Alec and Kyle's mum.
Yep.
And then Ellison reveals that he seems surprised that Alec can't remember any of this.
Yeah.
Because he was with him for most of them.
Ellison says, you were there. You helped me at some point.
He said, you were a great cover for me to spy, follow, watch these women. Because I'm just a dad with my little kid.
Yeah. Alex breaks. Alex snaps at this point. He tosses the table
kind of
over.
Having flashbacks.
Yeah, he kind of remembers it a little bit. He tosses the table and gets the tablecloth off the table and wraps it around Ellison's neck and starts strangling this man.
What was this? What was going on?
He then
drags him across the room.
He pulls the sofa over,
yeah,
drags Ellison across the room by his neck and hangs him over the... I didn't realise they were upstairs, by the way. Which they can't have been upstairs.
No, he drugs him. He takes him to the top of the... He takes the end of the rope to the top of the staircase.
Yeah.
Remember, Ellison is completely dead weight.
Yes, 100%.
And Alec is on one leg.
Yes. But the logistics of this house don't work now.
There wasn't a staircase there before.
There wasn't.
But then there was,
and
for
also
the
we can't have
purposes
this
of
kitchen.
murder.
And this directly below this room is this oven.
Yeah.
But when he hangs, it's just a hallway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ellison is hung. That's not the word I'm looking for. He's hanged and dies.
Yeah.
He's basically... Alec throws him over the balcony and kills him.
And there is a noose piece on the game board.
Yes.
Now, you didn't know someone was going to die by hanging.
Nope. That's purely
So it
Alex's
falls
fit
down.
of rage that has happened.
Yeah.
But the noose piece moves into the hallway. Somebody moves it there.
Yeah.
And then the shutters all start opening up. And they are free to go. The voice comes on and says, the cycle continues.
Yes, the next generation has
done
a kill.
Yeah. Your dad will have been happy to be your first victim.
Yeah.
However, for some absolutely illogical reason, the game is not over because we have to get to 27 murders.
I didn't understand this.
I didn't at all.
So I watched it. I rewound it like 3 times. Marie basically says, "Okay, if that's his last victims."
Yeah.
I didn't know why. 27
27 was how many H.H. Holmes had killed.
Right, okay.
And we have to get to 27, which is all of them bar one.
And Marie says that's 4 of us. That needs to be all of us.
Yeah.
To get to 27. But then the voice is like, no, it's only 3 of you. You're shit at maths.
Yeah, your maths is wrong.
But there's 4 of them left.
There's 4 of them left. There's Marie,
apparently
Tara.
3 of them need to die, and it wasn't explained very well.
It was completely not explained very well, but I just went with it. I was like, okay, we've got to kill 3 more people. Fine. One of them's going to survive. This is where this movie's going.
And
so we left with Alec, Tara,
Marie,
and Livy.
And they decide they're going to make a break for it.
Yep, we can leave now. The shutters are all open up.
Until someone says, what about those hench dogs?
Yeah. Don't forget the fucking dogs. We can't leave because of the dogs. Hold on. Where have we seen a dog whistle recently? So Tara says, I'll go down into that fucking boiling hot oven.
Yeah.
And I will get the dog whistle from Kyle's mouth. Which she does, basically. She goes down. She gets the dog whistle. She pries it off Kyle's charred remains. And then gets up out of this trapdoor somehow.
And as she's emerging from the trapdoor, she says, fuck the dogs. Which I thought was probably the best line in the movie.
Probably is. And they head outside. They're allowed to go outside now. Unfortunately, when they get outside, Burnham is out there, And he's got a sniper rifle.
Yeah, he's taking pot shots at
Luckily for them, he's not very good with a sniper rifle. He does manage to shoot Alex and make him land in a pond. Which was quite funny.
But the girls instantly fish him out, and he just keeps on running.
So they run. They've got to get to the tree line. You can't snipe somebody through a tree line. So they get to the tree line, and they find a shed.
They blow the dog whistle a few times
just
to keep them away.
The dogs stop whenever the dog whistle's blown. They go for a shed. They go in this shed.
There's even speakers in the woods.
Yeah, there are
on the trees.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no electricity in trees.
No, there's not any electricity in trees, but there's also electricity in cables that you can whip at people. They kind of regroup when they're in this shed because the dogs can't get in. Burnham can't get in with his sniper. So Tara's like, right, I'm the only one that's really capable of this, so I'm going to try and go and I'm either going to find help.
She's the only one who's got anything about her.
She is. Yeah.
She's like, I saw a path. I'm going to see if there's a way out,
if
or
I can
a
find
boat
some people
or something.
Yeah, and instantly she finds a rowboat on the shore of this island. And
the voice is still harping on about finishing the game. Who's the voice?
I was going to come to this at the end.
Okay, fine. We'll come back to it.
We'll come to that. The voice says, you must finish the game, Tara. Meanwhile, the dogs are barking again.
Yeah, because they didn't let Tara take the whistle with her.
No, Tara didn't even think about taking the whistle with her. And Livy had the dog whistle, but now she can't find it. She thinks she might have dropped it
in the escape.
So Tara makes a run to try and get back to the shed.
Yeah.
Before the dogs get her.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, gets shot in the leg by Burnham because apparently you can shoot snipers through trees. And then to get away from the dogs, she jumps in a well.
She hangs from
a well. This was so funny.
It was.
So she hangs by her fingers from the top of a well while the dogs kind of look over at her. And then the dogs start chewing her fingers off.
Yeah.
So she falls to the bottom of this well.
And they're going after her.
And all three dogs jump after her and just presumably rip her to pieces.
And then die later.
The dogs are just stuck in the well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But
and then there's
they pull her apart and we lost Tara.
There's a well piece on the board.
There is a well playing piece. No, it was a dog.
Oh, was it a dog?
It was a dog.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a dog. It was a dog playing piece.
Again, you don't know someone was going to die by a dog.
No, you don't. But there were hench dogs, so you maybe assume. Alec then says to them, look, I can't run. I've got no heal. I'm finished. I'm bleeding out. I'm shot as well. You two make a run for it. Go and get help. Taris was screaming that she'd found a boat. Go to the boat.
And Marie's like, no, you're coming with us. And she starts to drag Alec to his feet.
Yeah, he says it was all my fault anyway.
And Livy drags Marie away from Alec.
As Livy drags Marie away from Alec, she drops the dog whistle.
Yeah.
Which is your big twist of this movie, because why would she not be blowing the whistle to save Tara's life? Because she was in on this from the start. Marie figures it out straight away. She smiles. Livy smiles, a creepy smile. Goes up behind Alec. And then somehow...
she's got like two pen
knives, which she stabs into each side of Alex's head.
Yeah.
And pops his eyes out.
Yep. Not sure that's how it works. So they're only short blades.
Through his ear areas.
And then
kills him.
Pushes him forward and
he freaks out a lot, but his eyes pop out.
Yeah.
Literally out on the one's rolling around on the floor. She then picks up this eye and eats his eye.
Yeah. Like it's a jelly baby or something.
And she then explains that she promised Ellison that she would be the one to carry on the legacy. However, everyone had a chance to become this person.
Now, I don't know if I quite picked this up on this right, but I thought she told Marie that Grandpa Ellison thought that Cam had the potential.
Yes.
But he basically failed the test.
Yep.
And is it something like Cam is the one that broke Grandpa's back?
Yeah.
Because he thought...
But Kyle did that.
Yeah. I'm sure it said... I'm sure
I
she
think
said
you're right.
Cam.
I think it's something along those lines.
But it must have been Kyle.
It must have been Kyle.
Yeah.
Because Kyle did break his back. We saw that with the baseball.
Because he thought that was it.
Cam, however, killed a cat earlier in the movie.
True. So she's like, there's evil in all of us.
There's evil in all of us. Every one of us had a chance to become this survivor that I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And then she shoots. She's got a gun. She's got a gun? Where'd she get a gun from?
She's
got a gun. She's got a gun. She shoots Marie in the throat. This is her mother, remember? This is her
Yep.
actual mum. And then Marie's begging and screaming and gurgling and all this. And then she shoots her in the head. Done. Marie's done.
Marie's last words is she calls her daughter a bitch.
Bitch, yeah.
And then Marie shoots her and says, "You're a bitch."
That's the actual dialogue. So we left. We've only got Livy left. The 27 murders are complete. We have one surviving character. She walks out of this shed back towards the house. I'm just saying that because that's what the movie is. I don't know.
No, but he's not done 27 murders.
Nope. No.
So she's done 3.
Yeah,
It's a new count. It's a new count.
It is, yeah, in theory.
Anyway.
Burnham comes to pick Livy up in the car that he's got, and she calls him Uncle Burnham.
Yeah.
And she says to him, "You should have been part of the game."
And he's like, someone had to organise it.
Yeah,
That's what Daddy wanted.
Somebody had to be in control of the egos, he said. And she says, "Maybe next time."
Yeah, like...
How what?
He's a rival.
How is he an uncle?
Secret brother.
And then we cut in... We get one last scene in the movie, which is... We see that it's Burnham who's been placing all these pieces on the board.
Yeah.
And we see a glimpse of all of the murders again with the corresponding playing pieces on the board.
But when we see Joy and Kyle, for no reason, we see them as the actors, not as the burnt husks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Not a clue.
He wasn't dead at that point, I
Not
don't
a
think.
clue.
Anyway.
I mean, that's where your movie ends.
This is a trip.
I mean, that's the longest we've ever talked about a movie, I think. We've nearly done an hour.
It's not. But maybe for a while.
Definitely for a while. Thoughts?
There's so much happening here. It's just...
It's chaos.
It's insane.
It's absolute batshit. It's pure chaos from the very first second of this movie.
It doesn't make sense.
No, not
It's crazy. It's all over the place.
Completely falls apart under any kind of scrutiny. It will make it fall apart.
You don't need any scrutiny. It
just doesn't work.
It's like a croissant. This is. It just flakes apart.
A movie croissant. Literally from second one to the end second, something is happening in this movie. It's very high tempo, very chaotic. The question that's hanging over this whole movie.
Sure.
Who's the voice?
Who's the voice?
Because it ain't Burnham.
No.
Or is it Burnham? Because can he be a sniper and a voice at the same time? Maybe. It has to be Burnham. There's nobody else in the movie.
It could be pre-recorded.
No. Because he even referenced, like, at one point it says, "You've got to carry on playing the game, Tara," when she's looking at the boat.
Yeah, but he could have pre-recorded everything.
It's never explained to us, or even there's no logical explanation of who the voice is. But the only possible answer is Burnham.
So had Livy been sort of clued up, do you think, to
Livy knew
this is going to happen? Like the whole game was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like she knew it was coming. Because she had a close relationship with Ellison.
Yeah.
It's never said outright, but I think they'd been talking.
They'd planned this between the two of them, yes.
Well, I don't think she was in on the plan, but I've more got the feeling she was prepped to know. She knew she was
an
advantage that this was going to happen.
She knew she was the next generation of serial killers.
Yeah, she knew it. She had it in her.
She knew she had the darkness in her. Yeah. And so she was the one who had to survive this game.
I also felt she'd had the sort of pre-game knowledge of this game's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's your time.
Yeah.
Got to prove yourself, but it's your
time.
At
no point in this whole movie did Livy ever leave the game board. She's the only one that was there with the game the whole time. Which is what the voice was saying. Play the game. Just be that person and play the game. And she was always the one that defended Ellison.
And Burnham wasn't surprised that she won either.
No, he wasn't. He kind of. I think if you go watch the movie again and just focus on Livy's character, I think her character probably makes the most sense. Because you can see what she was doing all the way through the film. There's hints there, I guess. However, I've just used the word "makes sense," and nothing about this movie makes sense.
How bad are the special effects as well when they're on fire?
Ropey,
like proper.
Well, it's CGI. There's no actual flames in that room. They're all CGI flames.
It's a bit like when the worms go on fire in the game Worms.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they get napalmed.
It's entertaining though. Isn't it?
It is that.
It's fun.
I mean, it's like you're not You're not switching this off.
You're never bored of it. It's high tempo chaos from start to finish.
I just always I watch this sort of thing, and I know, look, people need a job, people need a check, but Jon Voight needs to do this.
Why is
Will
Jon
Sasso
Voight in
needs to do this.
movie?
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers needs to. I know we're not talking top level stars here,
Do you think there's a lot of this script?
This is the script. The amount of even someone like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers as a sort of what would you say mid-level actor who can be good, he is getting scripts all the time, and this is what he chooses to do.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Isn't
weird.
that weird? It is weird. It makes you wonder if there's a lot of this.
You can't read this script and go, yeah.
No, but is there a lot of it that hasn't made the cut?
Maybe.
Because it feels like there's a good movie in here somewhere with a story that makes sense. But
if you took real care and you could do what we are doing in this game is actually affecting what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, and make that creep. There's something there, but the script is not good enough to. The game is just there. It's a thing, but it's not. It doesn't drive the plot. They never play it properly.
No, they never play it at all.
They play it for 30 seconds when they're trying to decode the stuff. If the game was an actual thing and that was the propellant to this movie, it'd be much better.
It's never explained to us what the end game of the game is. It's clear that everybody needs to die. The playing the game is inconsequential because everybody's going to die anyway.
Yeah.
That's clear. But the fact that they never even tried to play the game and save themselves is weird.
Yeah.
It's a very strange movie, but it's entertaining. It's high tempo. It's never boring. It's the first time in a few weeks that I'm not gone, I wish I could get to the end of this. It's been a while since I've been like, I'm actually into this. I'm following what's going on. I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not the worst thing we've seen in ages. But if you're going on, is this the most sensible thing you've ever seen? No, not even a little bit. What's the best thing about it?
Just how weird it is.
It is proper fucking mental. It is pure.
Is it when she eats that eye at the end?
What did she do that for?
Why is she a cannibal?
How did his eye come out?
Like, is this the first time she's eaten human?
She
popped
popped it in like it was a Malteser.
Yeah.
She was like she loved him.
Yeah. Then she like licked the blade clean.
She did, yeah.
Because at no point has anyone in this movie talked about like
no, even H.H. Holmes
and...
didn't eat people. He just murdered women. He only murdered women as well, whereas these people are murdering everybody. Such a strange film.
Yeah.
Such a strange film. I can't ask you what you'd change about it because all of it.
It would make it not this film though.
Yeah, it would. You'd have to make it make sense, and I don't know how you do that.
This is just. I just think this is this has turned out to be a brilliant film to have as a season finale.
Oh, it's
just
perfect season finale film.
It's just bottom of the stream.
Through and
classic.
Through.
This is
absolute bottom of the stream classic. Yeah, Robin has absolutely played a blinder. This is the perfect movie to end a season on.
I mean, I have no idea how you rate it.
Well, that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Shall we talk Stream Table for the final time this season? Shall we read through the whole thing?
We have to.
We do have to. So currently our Stream Table is at 24, Meet the Blacks. At 23, The Womb. At 22, Riptide. 21, Hard Feelings. 20, The Great Chinese Beans. 19, Bloody New Year. 18, The Utah Cabin Murders. 17, Prey. 16, Strange Ways Here We Come. 15, Rogue Agent. 14, Mad Dogs. 13, Hypnotic. 12, The Influence. 11, Sundogs. 10, Ravenous. 9, Green Sea. 8, Bubble. 7, Finder's Fee. 6, Ambush. 5, Security. 4, The Girl in the Yellow Jumper. 3, 60 Minutes. 2, The Call. And currently winning the Stream Table is The Lost Patient. Does this film top the Stream Table? Does it become the winner of the season 10?
It does not.
It does not. Shoot a number at me.
18th.
Oh, really? That low? I'm going to hit you with a number. And that number is 11th.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just because how much fun you had.
Yeah, I think so. I think because it was...
It's shit, though.
It is shit. Yeah, 100%. It is shit. That's true. Maybe 11th is too high. This is a very much a me movie. This is my wheelhouse. It's a Saw ripoff, which is one of my favourite films. It's a bottom of the stream. It will go down as a bottom of the stream classic. We are never forgetting what this movie is. There are movies in that stream table that I couldn't tell you what they are now.
I was just thinking to myself, what was Prey again?
I can't answer that question.
It was the excuse me. It was the German stag do one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 11th versus 18th. So we need to meet somewhere.
I think it's better than Mad Dogs.
So I would go 18th. So I mean, what's the difference between 11th and 18th? 7. I would have it. My next offer is 15th.
So below Mad Dogs.
Yes.
Excuse
me, I have got the hiccups.
Okay, let me fire this at you. If you're going to watch one of them again, which one you're watching? Mad Dogs or this?
Mad Dogs.
Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't think you'd say that. I
chose Mad Dogs.
You did.
Oh no.
I think it's a better movie than Mad Dogs.
I tell you what, I quite like that they're together because they're the
two of the most batshit movies in this.
Yeah,
movie.
just out there movies. So I like having them together.
They do go together.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's not as good as Hypnotic, and it's better than Rogue Agent. So it is there somewhere for me.
Yeah, I'll let you have it.
Just above Mad Dogs,
yeah,
14th. That rounds out our season 10 stream table. Overall thoughts on the stream table quickly because we do need to get out of it.
I think it's a weak winner. Not weak. It's a good film.
It's a good film.
It's a good film. I feel like it's one of the weaker table toppers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If we put our 10 table toppers in a list, I think it's probably 9th or 10th.
I could give you a synopsis of every film that's ever won a stream table, except for that.
Yeah, you could.
I could tell you what it was, but okay, I'm not saying that now, but in a year's time, maybe.
Okay.
It's a good film. It is a good film.
I do think it's in the right place. Looking at that
it's the best film in that stream table.
Yeah,
definitely, it is the best film in that stream table. But then the call's really good as well.
No, I prefer Lost.
100%. I think that the top of the stream table is the correct film. I can't believe is how the girl in the yellow jumper has stayed there all season.
Yeah,
that was the first movie, and it's finished 4th.
Finished in the top 5.
It's obviously never been lower than 4th all season. That's mad.
Yeah,
that's a Ugandan movie.
Yeah,
that is the hidden gem for this season.
It's a hidden gem.
It's the hidden gem for this season.
Yeah.
Happy with the bottom of the table? 100%.
Yeah, Meet the Blacks is the worst film of this season.
Yeah, by a long way. I don't think it's close either. Because
It's on its own.
It is miles down on its own. It'd be, yeah. The Womb's a bad film, but it's nowhere near Meet the Blacks bad. That's it. That's the end of season 10.
Well done.
Thank you. Well done to you too.
Thank you.
Congratulations on 250 films together.
Thanks. I've had a great time.
I have also had a great time. We're not going to pick the next film because at this point in time, we don't know when that's going to come out.
Yeah. So
we will do that probably at the end of the Boxkers.
Yeah, it'll be around then.
Or in one of the waves.
We're still going to have a wave. And I think on the next edition of the wave, we'll go into more detail about the
future of the show.
The upcoming couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But rest assured, we'll have a wave every week. We've got the Boxkers. And it won't be too long, and we'll be back to normal service. Wave Mondays, movie show Thursdays.
You say normal service, but there's a new normal.
Movie show with a twist.
There's a new normal. We're not revealing it because we don't 100% know what it is ourselves.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just not quite... We've just got some logistics.
We've got some logistics. We need to have some logistics chat.
Yes.
So yeah, congratulations on all of you for getting to the end of season 10 with us. Thank you for everybody that's listened to any of the episodes. I hope you continue to enjoy them. I hope you continue to keep listening to them. I hope you continue, Nick, to keep wanting to record them.
I will continue to do that. We do appreciate everyone that
100%.
listens, even if it's once or if you've listened to every episode and watched every movie. We continue to be humbled by the amount of downloads and the friends we've made along the way.
100%, absolutely does. That feels quite sentimental, and it feels weird now to go back and do the social, so I'm not going to.
Okay, fine.
We're just going to end the movie here. And the movie here, and the episode here, and the season here. And we're not going anywhere. We'll be back next Monday with a wave.
Yeah. More details to come.
The waves are coming. The bots, because it's coming at some point. There will be an episode every week.
Yeah.
There just might not be 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for listening to season 10. Thank you for let us know as well if you agree with where we've placed. I'm sure people out there have got their own stream tables.
Sure.
We'd love to see them. We'd love to hear your thoughts on our stream table.
I'm sure that'll all be popping off in the Discord.
The Discord, yep, the
Usually
Discord
does.
is available to everybody. The link to the Discord's always in the show notes on the end of every episode. So yeah, come along to the Discord, discuss season 10 with us, and yeah, we'll be back next Monday for the wave.
Cheers.
Bye.